No one likes spending weeks of time and effort putting together the perfect email campaign to sell your services or to get new subscribers or whatever it is you may be gunning for, only to have all those wonderfully crafted works of art splat face down in the recipient's spam folder. Am I right or am I right? And one of the ways that can easily happen is if some jerk out there is spoofing your email address. We've all seen those, right? Emails in your spam folder that look like they're coming from a legitimate contact of yours. In most cases, one quick preview of the content is enough to prove it's as phony as a $3 bill. That's what's known as spoofing, a method by which some jerkface uses email headers to try and trick the recipient into thinking it's a legitimate email coming from whatever person or business they're trying to spoof. It's a very common way to phish or to spam, and try to get recipients to click on an offer, or worse, hand over or confirm personal information that can be used to take advantage of them. Sometimes this is just annoying, sometimes it's a serious threat. In any case, the last thing any of us wants, besides falling victim to one of them, is to have our own emails associated with these kinds of naughty behaviors. Here you are trying to give people a 15% discount on your services, and the next thing you know, you're being accused of trying to steal credit card numbers, or injecting someone's computer with malicious code that brings down their work computer like a ton of bricks. Okay, well, chances are you're not going to be jailed for any misunderstandings. In fact, you're probably never even going to be aware of it. But where this kind of stuff very well might hurt you is by getting your email address associated with spam and phishing scams. And boom, you're flagged, and any legitimate emails you send are going straight to the recipient's spam box, never to be seen at all. Now overall, this sort of hijacking is possible because the email protocol, SMTP, or Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, doesn't come with any kind of authentication protection. That's why having an SPF, or Sender Policy Framework, in your DNS records is probably important for everyone, but especially if you send out lots of emails and want to do whatever you can to avoid having them land straight in the recipient's spam folder. Not having these armies of greedy, nefarious folks out there who have no idea how wonderful you are and what a good person they're causing grief for, who can be using your fine email address to spam people, like your own contacts, with whatever garbage they're selling. No bueno. So to put an end to this nonsense, you can simply add an SPF record to your domain host, which helps your recipient know that emails coming from you are indeed coming from you. Basically, it tells the recipient's server to go ahead and to check to make sure that your IP address is authorized to send mail from your domain, thereby validating it. Doing this will help increase security and increase your mail delivery rates, while reducing the likelihood that your finely crafted emails are getting caught up in any spam filter. Most hosting platforms have this feature built in, but in case yours doesn't and you failed this test, let's quickly show you how to get that SPF record signed and sealed for you. The simplest way, assuming that you have access to your domain, is to navigate to your domain in question and to your custom DNS records. From here, add a new record. A simple TXT file will do just fine. And enter in a specific host name, or leave it blank if you want to create the Sender Policy Framework for the entire domain. If it won't let you leave a blank entry here, you can simply enter the @ symbol. Now, let's write the SPF record itself. There are some variations here. There's no one-size-fits-all SPF record for everybody, but don't be daunted. Let me break this down and make it simple. First of all, let's start with the standard version 1 tag. Including this, your SPF record can only contain up to 255 characters and up to 10 lookup statements. These lookups are all the IP addresses and third-party domains like Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, and so on that you want to authorize to send emails. Next, we have all the available arguments that we can use in an SPF record. The most important of these is the all argument, which comes at the end of the record. This includes all IP addresses and host names that have not been addressed in the record. In other words, all unauthorized servers. But let's leave this for the end. If your server has static IP4 and IP6 addresses, then add them here in that order. In my case, the GoDaddy hosting package that I'm using for this particular domain has a shared IP address. So what we can do is refer to other records that we have. We can refer to A records, MX records, and PTR records. And this is simple. In my case, I have both A and MX records, so I'll add these. By doing this, I'm authorizing the IP address and servers associated with these A and MX records to send emails. Now in my case, I also happen to route all my incoming and outgoing mail through Gmail. I've got a handful of email addresses on this server, all ending with the name of my domain, but I have them forwarded to, and I send them back as, from Gmail. So in my case, I want to include Gmail as a domain that I can send from. In fact, I'll use this to include all Gmail apps and servers. And finally, minus, and that all we were talking about, which causes any emails that are sent from servers and IP addresses other than these I've just authorized to be rejected. Instead of a minus symbol, you can also use the tilde symbol. This causes emails coming from other servers to do what's known as a soft fail. That is, the emails are accepted but marked as suspicious. The hard minus is regarded as the more secure, reliable choice, but this is an option. And a total side note, if you have a hard time finding that tilde key, now you know what it's called. Just Google tilde and copy-paste that slippery little weasel. I can save this SPF record, and done. In my case, hosting with GoDaddy here, I'm good to go. And it should be the same for HostGator. With Bluehost, you'll likely want to include the Bluehost domain, which specifies their list of outgoing servers. And if you use another hosting platform besides one of these, then it's sound advice to go ahead and look up exactly what they recommend in an SPF record, in case there are other variables that you don't know about with that particular hosting package. And also know that once you save, it may take up to 48 hours for your records to propagate and to take effect. Feel free to check out our other videos so you can keep fine-tuning and getting the most out of your SEO. And click subscribe to stay updated with new tips and tricks to get you to the top of the search engine results pages.